From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon on Afternoons LALATE with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check of 2021. In today's recording, we go over the incredible great news, not one, but four major breaking news stories, and they're unfolding still this week. As we approach Memorial Day weekend, the deadline to call the vote. I have all the incredible great news about the monthly stimulus check that starts the month of July and continues month after month thereafter, and the four incredible breaking news stories that are coming to fruition as we approach Memorial Day weekend. What an incredible day this is. I'm really excited for you. In the second half of this recording, we go over fifth stimulus that'll raise your benefits up if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Veterans benefits, and Survivor benefits, and remove horrible things like the marriage penalty. But guess what? It may also step up your benefits an enormous amount a lifetime additionally on top of that amount. Wow. I have all the breaking details on that as well. And then in the middle of this recording, we go over the money, a lot of money, tens of thousands of dollars, that is available for you right now, and I want you to get it. And there's a surprise of something that could be an enforced stimulus that no one saw coming. What a big day this is. It is Afternoons LA. I'm here, you're here, and let's get to it, starting right now. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. How are you doing? It's Monday afternoon. I hope you had a beautiful weekend. I hope you had a relaxing weekend. And I hope you were with me as well. We had a lot of fun this weekend. And boy, there's a lot of great news today in this recording. Over this recording, we're going to go over first the fourth stimulus check. Then we're going to go over how much you're going to get in the fourth stimulus check. Then in the second half of this recording, we're going to go over the big exciting news of fifth stimulus that'll raise your benefits up if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, and of course, Veterans benefits. And then in the middle of this recording, we're going to go over the big money available for you right now, tens of thousands of dollars, and the breaking news, not one, but four items across the board that are coming to fruition with just days away before Memorial Day weekend. And this is just very exciting news about fourth stimulus. And this is Afternoons LA. How's the weather where you are? If you're tuning in right now, either taped or live watching me, jump into the comments or the live chat and tell me where you are and how the weather is. A lot of people were reporting good weather this weekend. I hope you're having good weather as well. It's warming up in LA. It is definitely warming up. It is not hot yet, but it's warming up. And it is clearly sunnier than just even a few days ago. So I hope the weather is good for you where you are. This is LA, your 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel. Broadcasting live in the morning, taped in the afternoons. This is taped. After the show comes Evenings LALATE. And then we go into Late Evenings Crypto, our new hit show, followed by Overnight Crypto, which has absolutely been a bombshell. It's been a runaway success. So make sure you subscribe. 400,000 subscribers in a year for a reason. Breaking all YouTube records. Next stop, 1 million. I want you to subscribe, so hit that subscribe button right now. Also, like this video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP can access all the items that are in the third, fourth, fifth stimulus packages that may not be covered in this video because it's only 30 minutes in length. That link is at the top of the chat. Let's get right to fourth stimulus. Fourth stimulus has an important name that you need to remember if you've not remembered it already, and that name, of course, is Jalapal. Jalapal wrote the House proposal for the fourth stimulus check. And the House proposal, or I should actually say House bill, not proposal, from Jalapal provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. The Senate proposal is a stimulus check from July to December. How does Jalapal price the monthly stimulus check? Jalapal puts it at $1,000 after the first month. The first month is $2,000. And the Senate amount is unknown, but word on the street is it's this. Yes, wow, great news. $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000. That's an individual. Or $1,400 over 6 months, $8,400. Incredible, great news. Now let's go back to why Jalapal's numbers may get modified, not because of Jalapal or the bill, but because of what's going on outside in the world. It's pandemic plus 1 year, but some insiders believe that by the time the vote happens, legislatively, they may view the pandemic over. If that's the case, then Jalapal's bill would provide stimulus checks for not pandemic plus 1 year, but 1 year, which is 12 months of stimulus checks. 12 months of stimulus checks at $1,000 after the first month is two is $13,000 over 12 months, compared to the Senate proposal, which is nearly almost that same amount. Wow. So if you're in the live chat right now, vote House or Senate. I'd love to see your comments. House or Senate, and where are you from? And then also, let's take a look and see about the other items that are really quite fascinating about what else is in the fourth stimulus check. But vote House or Senate and tell me where you're from. All right, let's go over the other details. First, who gets it? You do. So if you got the third stimulus check, you get the fourth stimulus check. If you make less than $75,000, you get the fourth stimulus check. Husband and married couple, $150,000 or less income, you get the fourth stimulus check. Household 4 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. So yes, if it's a 7-person household, 3 would not get stimulus checks. And then finally, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, veterans benefits, you get the fourth stimulus check. Next, let's go over the amount. Is it any different for anyone? No. So it's the same stimulus check for adults, adult dependents, children, everyone else. It is not taxable. It's not taken out for taxes. It is not income. It is not going to come in waves, because it can't do waves where a check comes a different week of the month for different people. They can't do that. And remember, I'm just a reporter. I just report the news. I'm not a legislator. They're making the representations. And their representations are the vote would be no later than July 4th. That means that the first check would be landing in the month of July for the month of July, in the month of August for the month of August. Incredible, great news. And then finally, how do they do this? They're currently doing it by a reconciliation process, which has already started. They've already nearly finished the legislation they represent. A 2-bill, 2-step, 2-month process already underway. So there you go. That is your fourth stimulus check of 2021 update for today. But guess what? I got the breaking news, and boy, we are just clicking away on this breaking news, and I can't wait to give it to you. It's coming up in just a second, but let me give you a preview of the second half of this recording. It's fifth stimulus, and fifth stimulus is this fall, and fifth stimulus in the fall does exactly what fourth stimulus does, which is do a reconciliation, add something in. And instead of adding in stimulus checks, they're adding in SSI and SSDI reform. Now, it's not just for SSI and SSDI, it's also for, let's go over everyone it's for. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, veterans benefits, and survivor benefits, and multiple benefits and multiple beneficiaries as well. So first they're going to raise up your benefits a lifetime. That's incredible, great news, with a new number. Then they'll apply an inflationary benchmark. Great news, but here we go. We're now seeing more indications, of course, this today, and we're going to continue to see them all this week, as the inflationary rate seems to be ticking higher and higher for anticipation of December, which is when they would apply it. I'll have all that incredible great news in the second half of this recording. But boy, stay with me to the very end, because I got a lot of money starting right now in this recording. I got $5, $10, $15, $25,000 of money to get you right now. And I want you to get a pen and paper ready. So get a pen and paper ready and stay with me to the very end, because I got a lot of money to go over with you in this big 30-minute broadcast. All right, let's first get to the really great, exciting news. When third stimulus became law, there was $350 billion of money for you. And I said it was going to be your single biggest payday of this channel. It was going to be a lot more than a third stimulus check of $1,400. Well, guess what? That money's now landing locally. So go get it. First item we're going to go over you can get is rent. Rent is about $5,000. About 4 to 6 months of rent. And where do you get it? In 6 places. City Hall, City Housing Authority. County Hall, County Housing Authority. State Hall, State Housing Authority. The key words you're going to use when you call them up is rent assistance because of COVID. Rent assistance because of COVID. You don't mention stimulus. You don't use that word stimulus. You could use the word Biden's Economic Recovery Act. So go get it. About $5,000 for rent. Guess what else they have? They have money for utilities, renters' utilities, homeowners' help like mortgage help, and also homeowners' utilities help. Great news. Each is a couple hundred to a couple $1,000 depending on how much your bills is. So go get it, starting with that rent of about $5,000. But guess what? I got more money for you besides that. And it's Snap. What is Snap? It's one of the big success stories of this channel. Every day there's another person that warms my heart that says, thank you for your videos. I got Snap or I got Rent because I didn't know about it till I watched your videos. So what's Snap? It is money for your food. And you can get SNAP generally if you qualify for a stimulus check. It's generally about the same eligibility. How do you get it? Reach out to Department of Agriculture, DOA. And if you don't know how to get DOA on the phone, call 211. How much money can they get you? In Hawaii, for example, a family of four gets $16,000 approximately in 1 year. Yes, it's a lot of money. So why is it so much money? Because of two executive orders, one from Trump for 6 months and one from Biden for 6 months. It raises up your benefits 15% between January and December of this year. Everyone's benefits. So go get it. Wow. I mean, we are just clicking away here. 10 minutes of this video, I've already gotten you $16,000 for SNAP if you're in Hawaii and $5,000 for rent for everyone. I mean, just incredible. And boy, let's then get to some real delicious automatic money because we love automatic money. Money, you don't have to do anything. It just sort of lands there. But here's what's important to know is I don't want you to throw away the check. And so I want to go over where this money's landing so you know where it is. The first one is coming back from your state. Oh boy, one viewer is getting $5,000. Congratulations to him. So let's go over what that is, how you get it, and when you get it. And I think the how is very important because you don't want to miss the check. First, let's go over what it is. The federal government has stepped in and ordered states to return thousands of dollars back to residents across the country. When the federal government found that states had overpaid residents accidentally due to computer malfeasance, and then strangely asked residents to return the money back to the states, the federal government said that was an error. If your computer's made a mistake, it's your fault, and the citizens should have been able to keep the money. The federal government said, oh, yes. So now $1,000 you had returned is now being returned back to you. So next, how? Where is that money going to land? It's going to land in the bank account that you have on file with your Department of Unemployment or however you received your benefits for Department of Unemployment. Finally, when is it going to come? Every state is different, so reach out to your respective states. Some states have started, some states have not. They have all different routing times. All right, now let's go to the other incredible great money. And this money has been landing over the last 2 weeks, and this is the final week. So everyone should get paid by the end of this week or, maybe after Memorial Day weekend if checks are late in the mail. But I want you to know what these checks are. It's so exciting. One viewer got $2,000. So what is this? This is money from the federal government, from IRS, from Treasury. First, let's go over how much. Then how are you going to get it, which is so incredibly important. I think the how is the most important part. And then finally, the when. First, what is this? It is money back from Treasury and IRS. And what is it? It is the money you paid on your 2020 tax return for your unemployment benefits to IRS. So let's go over an example. IRS is returning that portion you paid on your taxes to IRS for your unemployment benefits. So let's say your unemployment benefits was $9,000. You pay the federal government $5,000 total tax bill, IRS, 2020 tax return, of which $4,000 was your taxes on unemployment. Guess what? You're getting a $4,000 check back. Congratulations. It's great news. Then let's go over how. This is the most important part, I guess you would say, is the how. How are you going to get the money? In an envelope, and the envelope you may miss, so I don't want you to miss it. There's a rare circumstance in which it comes by direct deposit if that appeared on your 2020 tax return, but generally it's coming in an envelope. The envelope is going to be in the mailbox, and it's going to be beige and white. Inside there is a beige check from IRS Treasury to you, refund. Now, it's a very, very laser-thin envelope. And if you've never seen those envelopes before from a prior stimulus check or from benefits, you can miss it. And if you have one of those bad mail carriers that sort of slides important mail inside of unimportant throwaway mail, you could literally miss it. So if you think you're entitled to one of these checks, please watch the mail very carefully. Go laser thin, slowly, surgically through the mail over the next few days to make sure you're not throwing away that check. All right, finally, when? who is getting it when. The great news is everyone's getting it by the end of this month. Now, some of you may get it after Memorial Day weekend because, maybe it's delayed. So let's add an extra week into June. But there's 3 phases. Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3. Phase 1 is single filers, non-complicated returns that have no dependents. Your checks were already sent out for last week, so you may already have it by now. Phase 2 are single filers with more complex returns. Your checks started last week or starting into this week. And then Phase 3 are this week, which are joint filers, like husband and wife. Incredible great news. And with that, I'm excited to give you some incredible great news about forced stimulus. Oh boy. I am just so excited about all this incredible, great breaking news about your forced stimulus. It's compounded, and it's important to understand that we are just days away from Memorial Day weekend. As one viewer said, no, that's September. No, it's just a few days away. It's the end of May. So let's go over. There was not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 major breaking news stories that have now formulated that you need to know. And I'm going to go from the beginning to the end because it's important to see how they sort of snowball. And we're certainly not done with the day yet. We have still a few more hours left of the day, so you never know, there could be another breaking story. All right, first, remember Jalapal? Yeah, so Jalapal wrote that House bill that provides monthly stimulus checks. When Jalapal wrote that bill got signatures of support in a letter to the president from House Democrats and Senate Democrats, 100 plus, 200 plus. I mean, it was just a tsunami of signatures saying, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put multiple stimulus checks in the forced stimulus package. Then at the same time, senators who are Democrats said, if it doesn't get done by the House, we're going to do it on the Senate level. We're going to do it during the vote-a-rama. And then came this, Jalapal writing a letter to Nancy and Chuck, Leader Schumer and Speaker Pelosi, saying, call the vote. What are we waiting for? Call the vote. So why is Jalapal writing this letter? Well, Jalapal is basically saying that the bills have been written, the 2-step, 2-bill, 2-month process, the bills have been written practically. Call the vote. Republicans have not moved on their dollar figure. There's no reason to wait around any longer. Now, if that was not good enough, understand this. Jalapal's letter is co-signed by dozens of House members that also co-signed the multiple stimulus check bill by Jalapal. Wow. Then it got even better. Then we got a letter from 7 House members to the president. And in this letter, they say, we're going to work with you to put multiple stimulus checks in the forced stimulus package. Now, what's important to understand about this letter is that it's not just from anyone. It's from 7 members of the House Ways and Means Committee that actually writes the stimulus part of every stimulus package that concerns stimulus checks. The House Ways and Means Committee is the committee that does stimulus checks drafting, writing the language when stimulus packages have been done previously and going forward as well. Unemployment they cover as well. So this is critical. On a subcommittee that is very small, 7 of the Democrats on that committee, which is controlled by Democrats, write the president a letter saying, we're going to work with you to put multiple stimulus checks into the forced stimulus package. Wow. I mean, this is incredible. Now, remember, when they say work with you, that's sort of a euphemism because ultimately they write the legislation. He doesn't. The president doesn't write legislation. Legislators, Congress does. And then came this breaking news. Late Friday, the president came out and said, okay, I have a counteroffer to you for Republicans. And his counteroffer was basically the same number that he had before. What he did was he allocated $600 billion of his forced stimulus to something else, saying, well, it's already in another bill, so it doesn't need to be in the forced stimulus package, not just stimulus checks. Other stuff, like it was something of agriculture. He said somewhere else, so I don't need to send out the money twice. It's in another part of the bill. What's important about this is he was, as broadcast news reported it, he was basically brushing off the Republicans because the Republicans on day one of the forced stimulus package negotiations came in at $500 billion. And now at the final day, at the final hour, they're still at $500 billion. They've never moved $1. The president has never moved to $1. So what the president has actually said to his legislators is, I'm going to give this to Memorial Day weekend, which is coming up this weekend. So we got really Monday through Friday. I mean, we got 4 more days. We got today and then all the way to Friday. I'm going to have lunches with the Republicans each day. And if there's no more change, then call the vote. It's just incredible. So this is the final week of the president having chicken or fish with his favorite Republican and saying, hi, any counteroffer? No. Okay. See you tomorrow. Chicken? No, I feel like salmon tomorrow. And that's that's one viewer said. He's just very hungry. But it's great news because now these legislators are ready to rock and roll. And while people love press releases and love press conferences, legislators don't do that. As AOC once said, they just give you the bill and call for a vote. They don't tell you ahead of time what they're doing. They don't give you progress reports. So the fact that this came out is absolutely incredible. A series of legislators spoke to Broadcast News and said, just call the vote. What are we doing here? We don't want to do this any longer. We finished this a long time ago. Just call the vote at this point for the reconciliation. And it's not from just House members, but also senators. Senator Kristen Gillibrand, Democrat of New York, when asked should they wait around for the vote any longer, absolutely not, because we might lose our coalition for human infrastructure. I don't think the White House should relegate recovery to the judgment of Mitch McConnell because he will not function in good faith. And then Representative Ruben Gallego said Republicans are not being even players and we should just move on without them. And then Representative Mark Pocan, who's a Democrat out of Wisconsin, said, at what point do Republicans seriously come to the table for negotiations? If Republicans don't come to the table, it doesn't mean Democrats don't serve the meal. That's the force it was. And then we go to Senator Majority Whip Dick Durbin, who says Democrats ought to have negotiations, but get ready to finish with reconciliation. And then comes Representative Ro Khanna, who says, I think it's time to move forward on our bill. I mean, that's about as blunt as it could be. Wow. I mean, Captain Obvious might be walking through the set at this point. It's just incredible, great news. But let me also put this in context for you. You know, one of the things that you need to understand is that while Speaker Pelosi says vote by July 4th, they really don't want to be in Washington in July if they don't have to. If they can get this finished in June, they rather, not for your sake, but for their own personal sake. They'd rather be in their mansions, their summer homes, vacationing any extra day they can in July. And so they can be out of town in June. They'd rather be out of town in June. And they also have a lot of other stuff to do in July. They have a budget bill they have to do in July. It has nothing to do with us. So they have a lot of other work to do. And this is actually almost done. So what is the waiting around? Call the vote and let's get going. Meantime, there's a lot of other stuff happening in July, and I don't want you to get confused with it. Like I just said, there's a budget bill that's not yours. The checks for the children from the third stimulus package, not the fourth, the third stimulus package come out in July. There's a lot of things coming out in July, so don't get confused by something else that overlaps. That's why it's important to become a member, because members have all the three different stimulus package, third, fourth, and fifth, laid out for you item by item, so you see which one is where and which one's happening at which time. But guess what? There's money for that rent, utilities, and homeowners assistance like mortgage available for you right now. I want you to get it. And you've been doing a great job. One of the volunteers was in the live chat yesterday and said, LALATE, I've just been swamped, and I've been getting to every single one of them. So I'm very excited. I'm always excited when you're taking this information and getting the money. It really, really makes me very excited for you. So if you've tried to get the money, first try to get it yourself. But if you've tried to get it and you cannot find it, then reach out to the volunteers. They're on the community page. It's in the description to this video. Open the description up, and there's an emoji of a house. And it says community page. It sends you to news.lalate.com/community. There you click on that link, and it sends you to that webpage. Has a picture of some cats. Lower on the picture on the page are my favorite cats, the volunteers who can help you with that rent across the country and utilities and mortgage assistance. So reach out to them. Here's a little bit about them, and I'll be back in about 60 seconds with big exciting news still, and that surprise that's in the fourth stimulus. Wow. And the big exciting news about fifth stimulus. Stay with me. I'll be back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Afternoons LALATE. I am really excited for you as we head into those final days before Memorial Day weekend. And boy, I can just smell that vote. I can just smell it. How are you? How's the weather where you are? If you're just joining me, jump in the comments and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. Love to hear all your comments, and I love to see where people are tuning in from. And also, subscribe. This is LA, your only 24-hour a day, 7 days a week financial news channel. I'm next with you in about an hour and a half from now with Evenings LALATE. And then 2 hours after that is our new hit show, Evenings Crypto. Then we go into our overnight show that goes 12 hours. It's a chatterama. That's overnight crypto, a 12-hour live show with a lot of wonderful chatting. So make sure you subscribe. Also like this video and consider becoming a member. More in this video, you're going to see why membership is very important. All right, let's get to fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus is absolutely incredible, and we're still trying to figure out, and we're far from finished on figuring out, how high fifth stimulus could go, because it has two items that are really fascinating. First, they're going to raise your benefit limits. They're going to remove the asset cap, add an inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, and then remove the marriage penalty. All right, let's go over all the details about fifth stimulus. First, they're going to raise your benefits up to a big new number. That would be your big new number going forward. So, for example, and so for who is this for? So this is for you. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits, or multiple benefits, you'll be raised up to a big new number. Congratulations. Then they're going to apply a new benchmark, and that benchmark is inflation. You're currently on a different benchmark. And what is a benchmark? What does that mean? So it means that in December you get a letter that says, hi, next year your benefits are going to go up this amount of money, or they're not going to go up. They're going to stay the same. Benchmarks either raise you up or keep you the same. They never step you down. So your new benchmark will be inflation. Everyone knows what inflation is. The only problem is no one can figure out what the inflation rate will be when they send that letter out in December. And we're trying to figure this out together as a family here, because we've seen a full gamut of this over the last few days. A week ago, Jeremy Siegel, professor at the Wharton School of Business, said the inflation rate will be 20%. Earlier this year, we were told the inflation rate all year will be 2% from the Federal Reserve. Most analysts are not buying that at this point. We had one of the Federal Reserve heads out of Georgia saying the growth rate will go from 4% to 10.5%. That looks like about a 5 to 6% inflation. And then on Friday, we had a series of analysts saying, I think it's going to be 4 to 6, 7% inflation. So, wow, that's incredible great news. And we're far from over on this analysis, and it could certainly still change. But boy, let's look how exciting this is. Let's say it's 6% inflation. Then your benefits will be raised up one time under fifth stimulus. Then in December, you would get a letter saying, hi, inflation was 6%. You're stepping up an additional 6%. What's important to understand is once you step up that 6%, that's a lifetime. You step up and that's it. You never step down. So let's say inflation is 0 for the rest of your lifetime on this planet. You'll still be plus 6% for the rest of your lifetime. But if next year inflation goes to 2%, then you went plus 6, you'll add another 2%. Incredible, great news. Let's go over the other items of the SSI reform. They're going to remove the asset cap. Thank goodness. So you need that gone before getting those stimulus checks. Some of you can't keep more than $3,000 in hand. It's going to go away, getting rid of a 1980s law. Then they're going to remove the income cap, dating back to a horribly old 1960s law that says you cannot work and stay on benefits. They want to get rid of that. So if you want to work $1,000, $2,000 a month, you can and still stay on benefits. And then finally, the worst item is going away, the marriage penalty, which has prevented people from getting married and disqualified people who are married. And this is incredible great news because love will finally win. You'll be able to marry your lifetime partner. You'll be able to marry your lifetime partner and not lose benefits. And if you are married, you will get your benefits across the board. Incredible great news. So when does fifth stimulus heat up? It's a two-bill, two-step process. It starts in September, out the door likely October. You'd see the benefits impact your bank account probably about November. And of course, that step up, you get the letter around December for next January. Let me go over a few questions which I've seen in the last few days about this fifth stimulus. Number one, see, people have asked, whatever happened to the 20% step up? So that SSI and SSDI reform from Elizabeth Warren, this is sort of the new version of it. So do not refer back to the old Elizabeth Warren, this plus that. This is the sort of the new version of how they're doing things. And certainly they're not done. They could make it a lot better. Second, understand getting these items will not disqualify you from something else. I said that a few weeks ago, but I haven't said it recently. And finally, and this is probably the most important thing, is that fifth stimulus has a lot of other things in there besides just the SSI reform. There's money for hazard pay for single individuals. There's money for single individuals, money for veterans, money for seniors. So there's more money in there than just what the president calls families. And while this is a 30-minute video, it's not enough time for me to go over all the provisions of what else is in the fifth stimulus. If you remember, daily you get a list of what's in the third, fourth, and fifth stimulus, and all the letters, like the letters being covered in this video. And now let's cut back to the real big exciting news about fourth stimulus. Well, fourth stimulus, what else does it have in there and what does it not have in there? It's not going to have in there any more rental stimulus. So early in this video, I told you about the great news and get that pen and paper ready for that rent stimulus. Rent, mortgage, utilities, and go get it. Guess what? It's not coming back under fourth stimulus. Moreover, the eviction moratorium is going away and the mortgage forbearance is going away. Their concept is to get you caught up on your bills before they lift those items. So go get those monies for those items now because the eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance is going away in a few weeks. All right, next, some surprises. And this is really surprising news, is that letter from those legislators say to the president, those 7 members of the House Ways and Means Committee, that they're going to work with the president to extend unemployment benefits in the fourth stimulus. Wow, this is just shocking. I was almost want to use a sirloin voice. Really? I did not see this coming. I'm really shocked. I'm not quite sure which unemployment stimulus they're referring to. And it's a very fluid situation. I don't think it's going to be FPUC because that's having a lot of controversy at the moment. But it may be PEUC, it may be PUA, but I really don't know. So I will track that with you. Meantime, the great news is that we're just a few days away from this end of lunches with the Republicans and time for the vote. But what's important to understand is that Democrats are very in tune with the notion that America is getting back to normal. Some of you who can work are going back to work. And yet, even though you're working, you got bills. And those bills came during the pandemic. And if you're retired and you have benefits, you still got bills. And you can't get caught up on those bills. And the best way to get caught up on those bills, and the only way, is stimulus checks. And that's why the Senate proposal makes so much sense, and at least the whole House proposal as well. Because a cash infusion that gets you caught up in your bills. Because, yeah, you may be getting back to normal. The pandemic may be over, but you still have bills, and you need to get caught up on those bills. And with that, I'm so excited for you to join me on this noontime broadcast. Join me next on Evenings LALATE. It's coming up in 2 hours from now. So make sure you subscribe. 400,000 subscribers. Next stop, 1 million. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video and consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat in the pinned comment. I'll see you in Evenings LALATE in 2 hours from now. This video will automatically take you to that video, which will go live in about 2 hours from now, or an hour and a half. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful afternoon, and stay with LA for more.